Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a glutes and ab focus workout. So when we're ready, we'll go ahead and get started lying down on our backs. To get there, we'll find a seated position, lengthen your legs nice and long. For our roll down, you reach those arms straight forward in front of you, find your tall spine at the top as you inhale. Exhale, round and scoop into your spine, slowly resisting your way down, one vertebrae at a time. Once you're down there, arms can come long by your sides. You'll slide your heels in close towards your glutes, planting them down just a couple inches apart. I like to say start with your feet together and then open your toes out wide like a little V and match the distance between your heels. That way you are not too far open with your legs. Starting with your pelvic curls, take an inhale breath. Exhale, tuck your tail and print the low back, feel the connection to your belly, and then lift your hips high towards the ceiling. Take an inhale at the top, exhale, round and lower yourself down. Really resisting your way all the way down to the mat, finding that round back shape as you lift and scoop, squeezing into your glutes, round and lower yourself all the way back down. Continue moving at that pace, finding that round back shape as you scoop and lift your hips high, round and roll yourself low. We'll take 3 more slow like this, really wrapping through the rib cage at the top. Pull those ribs in so you're not flaring them, keeping the belly active. You're here for 2. Exhale as you lift, inhale baby at the top. Exhale, round and roll down. One more time, we'll meet with our hips lifted. From here, lift your heels high, maybe even walking those toes a little bit closer towards your glutes. You'll lower the hips down halfway, lift them all the way up. Squeeze your glutes lower and lift. Lower, lift, and squeeze. Keeping those heels lifted will just help to activate a little bit more of the calves as well. You can always drop them down if it starts to be a little bit too much. 4, 6, lift 5, 4, squeeze 3, 2, and 1. Option to keep the heels lifted or drop them down as you lift your right knee to tabletop, making sure it's stacked over the hip. You'll hinge and tap the right toes to the floor, lift up, working to keep those hips really balanced here. Try not to let the right hip drop down. Exhale as it lifts to table. Inhale as it taps low. You lift for 4. Lower, lift. 3, try to keep those hips lifted for 2. 1, hold that tabletop, pulse it out a little, lift and lower here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold the knee in tabletop, round your spine and come down. Plant through that left foot, right knee still in tabletop. Really activate through the belly. Imagine you're moving a little bit lighter through the left foot, almost like it's hovering just off of the floor, kind of kissing the mat. So you're holding that active shape with your belly. Leg changes. Tap the right, lift left, and switch. And switch. Continue alternating. The more that you engage through the midline, that's what you really want to focus on here. So if you start to feel that lower back arching, gently imprint your lower back down onto the mat as you switch and switch and switch. 4, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll add on, plant both feet down. Lift the hands high towards the ceiling, inhale. Exhale for your chest lift, you lift off your head, neck, and chest. Arms reach forward, shoulders out of the ears. Inhale, slowly lower. Exhale, you lift. Inhale, float back and return. Exhale, you reach, gaze comes between your thighs like you're knitting the ribs towards the hips. The deeper you're able to find yourself in that C-curve shape, the more openness and release you'll find in your lower back. Exhale on the way up, that'll help you to drain the air from the belly to lift a little bit higher. Active through the backs of your arms to press them down towards the mat. This next one, we hold our way up. Lift those knees one at a time to tabletop, then squeeze the knees together. Extend both legs out and bend, pull them in. Extend, reach, and in. You're always welcome to take those hands behind the head if you need a little bit of support, or drop your head all the way back to the mat if you're feeling it too much in your neck for 4. Reach out for 3, 2. This next one, you'll hold them long. Lift them up over your hips. Lower halfway down to the mat. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Exhale, rise. For 4. Zipping up through your midline, holding with your abdominal wall. For 3. Finding your range where there's no arching of that low back. 2. Once more, we hold it low. Hug your knees in. Plant the feet down to the floor and float your arms back. Take the arms long by your sides, rooting into the shoulders and your palms. You'll lift high off of those heels. Tuck your tail, lift the hips up and off of the mat. Lift your left knee to tabletop this time. Try to keep it lifted at the same height as the right. Hinge from the hip, tap the right toe to the left toe to the floor and plant to lift it back up. Again, modifications if you need, drop your right heel to the mat, or even drop your hips and still continue to find this range. You'll feel it a little bit more in the belly rather than the glutes. Last 2. This next one, you hold in tabletop, pulse it out, a little lift and lower, up and down. 8, 7, it's a small range. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it lifted, round and roll it down. This time you'll extend your right leg long. Left knee tabletop and switch and switch. If you want more, interlace your hands behind the head. Lift up off of your head and chest. Keep your elbows wide at the peripheral. Pointing through your toes, sitting in reach to tap the wall in front of you. Last option is to turn this into your crisscross. As the knee bends, you'll rotate towards it and switch. Opposite shoulder towards opposite hip. Think of that transverse working, creating that X shape across your midline as you twist to rotate. Being mindful your knee stays in tabletop. Don't let the heel drop towards the glute or lift towards the sky. We're here for 8, 7, 6. Prioritize the C curve, that lift of your chest over the twist. Alrighty, our last 4. Exhale as you rotate. 3, for 2, 1. Knees back to tabletop and rest it down. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself that rock side to side. You'll extend your arms overhead, extend your legs. Take a big inhale. Exhale, roll up, lift off your head and chest. Scoop and peel into the belly, reaching to fold forward over your legs. At the top, you'll slide your heels in and off to the side, finding your tabletop, your 4-point position. Palms underneath the shoulders, hips right over those knees. Finding our cow cat. On your inhale, drop the belly, open the chest, pin the shoulders back. Exhale, round and curl into your navel, puffing up the space between the shoulder blades towards the ceiling. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, round. Then when you're ready, we'll meet back in that all-fours position. Your right leg will extend behind you, lengthening it parallel to the floor. Being mindful you're keeping that right hip square to the mat, drawing into the belly and the ribs. You'll tap the right toes to the floor, lift, tap, lift. So 2 of those, and then round and curl that knee in towards your chest. Again, you lower, lift for 2 repetitions. Hold it lifted, round and curl, feeling that engagement through your abdominal wall. The goal is not to lift the leg as high as possible. It's to keep the hips square while squeezing and engaging into that glute, and then round and curl, draw it in through center, finding engagement through your abdominal wall. And around. 3 more. Keeping space between your shoulders and your ears. Round and reach. Here for 2. And round. Once more. Tap, lift, tap, lift, round and curl it in. We'll hold that leg extended and just pulse it out a little, lift and lower. Can you point to the toes, lengthening a little bit longer from the crown of the head to the big toe. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it lifted. Drop down onto your forearms. Your elbows are right underneath the shoulders. You bend, tap the knee to the mat, and then reach, kick it straight up. You lower and you lift. Really important here to keep the rest of your body active, not just the glute. So your shoulders and the upper back are active to lift your chest away from the mat. The ribs and the belly button are pulling up and away from the floor. That way you're not sinking all of the weight into your spine. You're here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold that leg long, bend into the knee, flex through the ankle, find a little pulse to finish. A little lift and lower, up and down. 4, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Extend that leg, drop the toes to the mat, step it back to your forearm plank. So your elbows right underneath those shoulders. You can always keep the knees down to the mat if you need a little bit less. Otherwise, toes are tucked, kneecaps are lifted from the floor. Just a steady hold for 10, 9, 8. Keep lifting those kneecaps up and away. Keep activating to the chest, to your upper back. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Find your knees down. Send your hips to your heels. Stretch your arms long. Find a little rest. Rock the hips from side to side. When you're ready, you'll find your way back to table, all fours, setting yourself up for that extension through your left leg. So your left leg goes long. Find 2 glute lifts. Hold the leg up, round, and curl it in towards your chest. Extend it out. Lower lift, and round. Keeping your hips square. Don't let that left hip hike up. Squeezing into the belly. Imagine when that knee comes in towards your chest, they're crushing an imaginary can between your ribs and your hips. Keeping length in the sides of the neck. 4 more rounds. Lift and squeeze, round. Your last 3. Making sure the palms are pressing deeply into the mat, fingertips spread wide. 2, and around. Your last 1, and around. Hold that leg lifted, just finding a little pulse up and down, lift and lower, squeezing into the glute. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Keep the leg lifted, drop down onto your forearms. Forearms like number 11s, they are parallel to each other. You drop down through the knee and you lift, kick it straight up and back. You lower and you lift. Down and up. Making sure you haven't transferred all of your weight onto that right side. You're holding the shoulders and hips square to the mat. That's what will help you activate your core here. So if you start to roll that left hip open, then your right side is going to be taking all of the weight. Rather than if you hold square shoulders and hips, your left oblique will be helping to accommodate for the lack of your left knee helping to balance in that table shape. 4, here for 3, reach to lengthen. 2, and 1, we hold. Bend the knee, flex to the ankle, find a little lift and lower, pulsing it up and down. Drawing in through the belly, taking space between the shoulders and your ears. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down through the knee. This time you lift onto both hands, find that table. Tuck all 10 toes. Scoop into the lower belly. You'll float those knees just a couple inches on the mat. Step it back to your high plank. Step it into your floating table. Step it out, in, and in. You shouldn't have to lift or dip the hips. They stay at that same height as the shoulders the entire time. If you've been stepping in and out with the same foot, begin to alternate. Otherwise, continue alternating. Inhale as you open a plank. Exhale back in that bear. Really scoop into the lower belly. 3, 4, 2. Next one, we hold our plank. Take an inhale breath. Exhale, pike your hips up and back. Let's pedal out the feet, bend one knee and then the other, gently rocking the weight side to side. Walk your feet to your hands, top of the mat, fold into your legs. Find your seat, bend your knees like that chair. You reach the arms forward. We sit low and pulse, little lower and lift, down and up. Keeping the weight back into those heels, maybe the toes lift from the mat. Aim to keep your gaze towards the top of your mat and the belly button lifted from your thighs. Pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We hold. Sit a little bit lower, until you make your way all the way down into a seat. And then let's roll the shoulders up and back. Setting up for our teaser. You're on those hips, nice and rooted, arms reach long. Extend your spine at the top. Take an inhale breath. Exhale, hinge a couple inches behind you. So wrapping to the belly, being mindful not to round into your lower back. Keep opening up through your chest. Keep the feet on the floor, or if you want more, lift your knees to tabletop. Last option is to extend those legs straight forward so the feet cover the face. Keep opening up through the chest, creating that V shape with your body. Even breaths in and out, completely breathing in as you open. Exhale, drawing a little bit deeper into your waistline. For 2 more rounds of breath. Inhale, exhale. Last one, inhale, breathe in. Exhale, slowly round your spine. Slowly lower those legs all the way down. And take a big inhale, stretch the arms up and over. Exhale, hug the knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a little rock from side to side. When you're ready, we bring those knees to tabletop. Arms lift up, take an inhale breath. Chest lift, exhale, we lift up. Double leg stretch, extend arms, extend legs in opposite directions. Exhale, wrap and take those hands on top of the knees. Each time at the top, you lift yourself up a little bit deeper, chest to thighs. Inhale, you open. Exhale, wrap and close. Inhale, reach. Exhale, wrap. Inhale to open, keeping the shoulders off of the mat. Exhale, wrap and lift chest to thighs. As those knees draw in, try to keep the knees stacked over your hips, hollowing out the belly. When you open the arms, the shoulders stay lifted. You curl yourself in tight like a ball, keeping the focus in your abdominal wall. Inhale, you open. Exhale, draw it in. Hold here. Extend the arms long and forward. Extend one leg forward and switch, keeping that alternating pattern through your legs. If you want a little bit more, turn it into a bicycle shape. Begin to extend one leg and lower it towards the floor as the opposite leg bends. Reverse your direction if you want more. If you're feeling this in the head and neck, drop your head back or take your hands behind your head. Aim to keep that focus of ribs to hips. Last, when you draw those knees in towards your chest, hug it back, give yourself a breather. Rocking from side to side, let your knees drape over to the right, finding a twist. Left arm can open out to the side, breathing steadily in and out. You'll wrap to the belly, bring the knees to the opposite side, over to the left, option to gaze right. Slowly draw your knees back through center. Give yourself a tight hug, lifting the shoulders from the mat. Roll like a ball. Keep your heels tight to the glutes until you make your way up into a comfortable seated position. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I had a blast working glutes and abs with you, and I hope to see you soon in the next video. Bye.